Unboxing Ford Explorer front suspension components. In the box you will find a pair of front lower control arms, a pair of front sway bar end links, a pair of rear sway bar end links, a pair of outer tie rod ends, a pair of inner tie rod ends, a pair of grease fittings for the outer tie rod ends that needs to be installed manually before you mount them on the vehicle. Please apply grease to the grease fittings before using the vehicle. This is the front sway bar outer end link. The end links are side specific, left and right. This is the rear sway bar end link. This is the inner tie rod. This is the locking washer to prevent loosening. When installing, face this side towards the steering rack. Install it like this. After tightening, hammer it to deform the washer so it locks in place. This is the lower control arm. Unscrew the nut and take off the dust cover before installation. This is the other control arm, also remove the dust cover before installation. These are the tools used in this video for this demonstration. A large pry bar. A large breaker bar. A 21mm socket. A 19mm socket. A 15mm socket. A 22mm socket. A 17mm socket, a 21mm socket, a large torque wrench, a hammer, an electric impact wrench, a 7mm wrench, a 17mm wrench, an 18mm wrench, a 21mm wrench, a 22mm wrench, and lastly a 24mm wrench. A paint marker, a small 10mm socket, a small ratchet wrench, Vise grips, flathead screwdriver, pliers, pipe wrench, locking pliers. Use a 19mm socket to loosen the wheel nuts. Lift the vehicle. Use the 19mm socket with an impact wrench to remove the wheel nuts. Remove the wheel and lower the vehicle. Use the 24mm wrench to remove the ball joint nut on the lower control arm. Use the 21mm socket to remove the lower control arm bolts. Use the 18mm wrench and a 15mm socket to remove the control arm mounting bolts. With the help of a pry bar, remove the lower control arm. Install the new lower control arm. Install the mounting bolts. Use a 15mm socket and an 18mm wrench to tighten the bolts. Tighten the bolts to 99 Nm. Install the bolt with a 21mm socket. Tighten to 265 Nm. Install the nut using a 24mm wrench. Tighten to 200 Nm. Use a 10mm socket and a 22mm wrench to remove the sway bar end link nut. Use the Vise grips to hold the end link while you take the rest of the nut off. Use a 22mm socket and Vise grips to remove the upper nut of the sway bar end link. Install the new sway bar end link. Use a 22mm socket to tighten the sway bar end link nut. Use a 22mm wrench with a 10mm socket to tighten the lower nut of the end link. Torque to 150 Nm. Replacing the Ford Explorer outer tie rod end. Mark the position with a paint marker. Use a 21mm wrench to loosen the locking nut on the outer tie rod. Use a 21mm socket to remove the tie rod nut. Use a 21mm socket and Vise grip to get the rest of the nut off. Unscrew the outer tie rod. Use pliers to remove the dust boot clamp on the inner tie rod. Use a flathead screwdriver to remove the clamp. Pull the dust boot off. Use a pipe wrench and a breaker bar to loosen the inner tie rod. Unscrew the inner tie rod. Transfer the paint mark to the same threads on the new inner tie rod before installation. Use the pipe wrench and a breaker bar to tighten the inner tie rod. Install the dust boot. Use the locking pliers to tighten the inner clamp. Use pliers to install the outer clamp. Thread on the locking nut on the inner tie rod. Use a 7mm wrench to tighten the grease fitting. Install the outer tie rod. Insert the ball joint into the steering knuckle. Thread on the nut and use a 22mm socket to tighten it. Use a 22mm wrench to tighten the adjustment nut. Use a 22mm socket to tighten it to 150 Nm. Install the wheel and thread on the wheel nuts. Use a 19mm socket to tighten the wheel nut. Tighten to 135 Nm. Use a 19mm socket to loosen the wheel nuts. Remove the wheel. Use a 15mm socket and a 17mm wrench to remove the rear sway bar end link nut. Install the new sway bar end link. Install the nuts and tighten the lower to 63 Nm and the upper to 55 Nm using a 17mm socket. Install the wheel and thread on the wheel nuts. Use a 19mm socket to tighten the wheel nuts. Tighten to 135 Nm.